Guys, how we doing? Welcome to Good Works Tractors. Today we're going to compare a John Deere 1025R versus a KUBOTA B2601. This is going to be a two-part series. Make sure you stick around. This video here is going to be nothing but the facts, and the next video, the follow-up to it, will be nothing but my opinion. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button right underneath the video. Make sure you read through the description as well. A lot of helpful links down there. I can help you out with the tractor, with an attachment, delivery and financing too. We're going to go ahead and go through dimensions, comparing these two, physical specifications, characteristic features, available options, that kind of thing as well. If I can stand the heat, I'm going to go ahead and load these things full of suitcase weights, maybe wheel weights too. We'll see how much they can actually lift up on both the loader and on the 3-point. Holy smokes, you see this stack of weights right here? Yeah, we're doing the 3-point weight test, and I'll tell you what, this is freaking beast mode right now, so make sure you stick around. Hey, and this is meant for everybody to learn and get a little bit more knowledgeable, okay? So if you have additional information, specs, comparisons, differences, similarities, whatever it might be between the 1025R and the 2601, go ahead, leave a comment below, make sure you let everybody else know what that is. Let's keep this one to facts. Go ahead, save those opinions for the opinion video that's coming next. So we're looking at a 2018 of each model here, okay? So the B2601 is a 2018 model year. The John Deere 1025 over there is also a 2018 model year, okay? So I sell used equipment. I don't just have the luxury of just going out and getting a brand new model of each one and comparing them. So this is what I had. This is as close to an apples as apples. There's gonna be some updates, maybe based on what's the brand new configuration out there of a 2020 model, or whatever's available at the time. But this is a snapshot of a 2018 comparison here in these two series, which are still currently produced. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rattle through a lot of information here as quick as I can. If you missed something, feel free to rewind, or also I'm going to try to put it in the description below underneath the video as well, so you can kind of compare specs side by side. So this video is being done at the request of a lot of viewers over the years, wanting to compare a John Deere 1025R to a B2601. So we've done the 1025R versus the BX series. This is going to be the B series in KUBOTA. So this is a John Deere subcompact tractor. This is a KUBOTA compact tractor. Let's go ahead and get into the weight. You're gonna have a base weight without a loader, without a mower deck, without anything else on there. Base weight of this tractor on the John Deere 1025R, 1,444 pounds. Same configuration, tractor, bare tractor, no loader, no mower, 1,632 pounds. So not quite, about a 200-pound weight difference there in physical weight. Gross horsepower on the engine over here, 23.8 horsepower, 77.2 cubic inch engine, 24.3 horsepower, 68.5 cubic inch engine. Both of these are underneath that horsepower requirement. Neither one has DEF, neither one has a regen system. There's nothing like that on either of these machines. If we get to the transmission, there's only going to be one transmission available in either one of these. It's going to be hydrostatic. There are some other versions of the B series that you can get a gear drive transmission, but the B2601, as far as I know, is hydrostatic only. However, there's going to be a difference. The 1025R is available in a 2-range, a high-low configuration of that transmission. The B2601 has a high, medium, and low. Okay, now if we're talking wheelbases, which is going to be center of the front axle to center of the rear axle, the 1025R 57 inches roughly, okay, I'm using round numbers here. B2601 61 inches, so the B2601 is about 4 inches longer in wheelbase, okay? Now keep in mind, since we're staring at these duals are not standard, okay? It is going to be a regular single axle on the 1025R. I put these on here. The 1 series here, or the BX series, anything with a 26-12-12 wheel, go to my website. There's a link there where you can get an adapter kit and convert and add on a whole other set of tires and wheels and make yours a dually setup just like this. Really helps with that stability. If we're talking width of the tractor, outside to outside of the rear tires, a single rear tire there, you're going to have, let's see, what is it, 47 inches on the John Deere versus 49 inches on the KUBOTA. Okay, your ROP side to the top of the roll bar, rollover protection system up here. 86 inches on the John Deere and 85 inches on the KUBOTA. So both of those should fit easily underneath a 7-foot door with it folded, but neither one will fit with it in the up position. Believe me, don't ask me how I know. The mark is still there on my garage. That's how I know. So if we're talking ground clearance, ground to the bottom side, the lowest point on the axle here, gonna have a little bit over 12 inches over here on the KUBOTA, while you're gonna be looking at a little bit over 7 inches over here on the John Deere. While we're hanging out back here, let's go ahead and share some more information on the 3-point hitch. I had not actually measured the max lift height. I've raised both of these up to the max lift height, so we're gonna go ahead and measure this one, and we'll measure the John Deere as well. One of the things I wanna point out, you're gonna have these adjustable lower links here, these sway arms, okay? You can see how you just pull this pin out right here, and you have a lot of adjustability there. I've talked about this in other videos before. Again, I'm trying to keep this to facts. Make sure you check out that opinion video I'm going to have coming up as well. You see that though? That's a nice system there, okay? Just trying to demonstrate what it does. So the 3-point on here, 24 inches out, is going to lift up 1,411 pounds, okay? So 1,411 pounds, 24 inches out on the Kubota. And that's going to be compared to, oh, let's see, where's it at? 681 pounds for that same measurement on the John Deere. Take that for what you will. Let's go ahead and grab a maximum lift height here. I'm just going to do this to the center of the length there, which is, 25¼ inches, okay? And here I have this on there, but we've got a pin right through. I'm going to go to the center of that. So you're about 23½ inches over here. So if you take a look right down here, these are going to be the sway buckles, turnbuckles that are going to be on the lower links for adjustment on the 1025R, okay? So this is more of a style you need to twist. Use a wrench sometimes, they don't freely move, but that's how you would adjust these lower links independently. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a measurement. You know, the buckets are relatively level, all right. They're probably not perfect, but they're close enough. But let's go ahead and tell you what these loaders are going to lift. So over here on the 1025R, now this is, keep in mind, okay, when we're talking about manufacturer specifications, the max lift that these things are going to have is at the base of the loader arm, the pivot point right here, okay, where you would rock the bucket and everything to max height, okay? So it's not out here where a load actually is, but we're going to give you the manufacturer spec. On the 1025R, it's going to be 836 pounds, and on the B2601, 948 pounds, okay? So you got, what, 112 pound difference there. Okay, so ballpark, this is 72 inches. And ballpark, this is 63 inches, okay? Let's go ahead and get you a little bit more loader information, all right? So on the Kubota, pretty much the base model of their loaders are all gonna have pinned on buckets. So it's not gonna be a skid steer quick attach. So if you want a skid steer quick attach, you can get that. This is that upgrade right here, so I would highly recommend it. That's about as much of an opinion as I'm gonna give on anything in this video. Over here, this is gonna be the John Deere quick attach. It is a different system, but it is a style of quick attach, so you can take the buckets on and off with either one of these, put on pallet forks, put on snow pushers, grapples, you name it, all sorts of stuff. So they're both very nice systems. The John Deere quick attach is gonna be standard on the John Deere loaders. So these are both going to be quick park loaders as well, all right? So the John Deere has a quick park loader with a built-in parking stand. The Kubota also has a quick park loader with built-in parking stand or parking legs on this version. So it's been upgraded. There is now a new style of loader on there. I think it's called the Swift Attach, if I remember right. So it makes it so that it's a operation that can be done from the seat, kind of the same way that the John Deere can, where you don't have to get off the tractor and take these legs down and pull any pins out to go ahead and release the Kubota loader. So they have upgraded that. It's going to be similar to the BX version of that. I've done a video on how you can take that loader on and off. It's a really nice feature there. You're also going to be able to get a single point hydraulic quick coupler on here for the Kubota and for the John Deere now. So that's a relatively new feature as well. But basically, instead of having to individually plug in or unplug those hydraulic connections, the 4 of them or 6 if you have a third function on there, now it's just one lever to undo those 4. You would still have to, if you had a third function, you'd still have to have the extra 2 quick couplers that you disconnect and reconnect. But at least those base 4, you can do with one lever now. And that's good for either one of these. And now also very cool, and I really want to get my hands on one of these, are going to be a self-leveling loader option for both of these machines here. So super cool. I'm sure it's an upcharge, but it's an available option now, and I think that's a great move by both these manufacturers. If you take a look here on the loader, you can see these exposed lines that are right here along the back side of that bar in the middle there, and then they kind of run up underneath and inside the rest of the way over here until they come right back out there. A little bit of a different setup over here in the John Deere. You can see how they're exposed all the way along, just on the inside. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do the actual what will it lift on a 3-point hitch test. We're going to try to do it as apples to apples as possible. Have a Speco quick hitch on here, have a Titan ballast box on here. I did add 29 of these bricks, these individual bricks here. Let me grab one of them. I put them on a scale I've got that I've used in other videos. They weigh 5.5 pounds each. Okay, so for our starting weight, we're gonna have 5.5 times 29. Okay, so you have 159.5 pounds in the bricks themselves, plus 132 for the ballast box, and then 70, it's like 69.6 pounds on the Speco, but we're gonna do 70 for round numbers. We're gonna call it 361 pounds. That's our starting weight here between the quick hitch, the ballast box, and the 29 bricks that are in there, just a starting point. And as far as these quick hitches go, I'm serious, you gotta check them out on the website. See that? No bushings required, okay? These things have been a big hit. I can ship these to you, UPS ground. Been selling them like hotcakes. Go ahead, get your order in, goodworkstractors.com. I'm gonna go ahead and add, I don't know, either 8 or 10 suitcase weights in here. I think they're, I've done a whole video, what are they, 42 pounds a piece, I think it is. I'm gonna add, I don't know, maybe 8 of them in here, and then we'll lift it up. What I'm gonna do, you know, the max height here was what, I think 23.5 inches, so I wanna see how many weights it can lift up to that max height, 23.5 inches. Okay, we have 8 in there right now. We're gonna go ahead and go to full throttle as well. That was no problem for it. We're gonna add more weight. I've got these 70 pounders here too. Okay, so we've got 3 of the 70 pounders, so that's 210, but we have 9 of the 42 pounders, so that's 378 plus 210 plus our starting weight of 361, 949. Let's see if it can do it. Okay, so we're somewhere in between. Okay, 10 42 pounders and a 70. Okay, so we had 42, there were 10 of those, so we had 420 plus the 70 pounder plus the 361 start weight. So that's 851 pounds of actual weight it would lift right there. Well, somewhere in between the 10 and 11 42 pounders, so, but we're gonna call it 851. Well, since it was so much fun the first time, I figured, what the heck, let's do it again, right? So you can see I got the quick hitch on here. I just put another one on here. So category 1 is category 1, okay? Kubota, John Deere, Mahindra, Massey, LS, Coyote, whatever it is. These Specos will work with any of it. Ballast box on here again with the same 29 bricks in here. So what was that, 361 pounds, whatever it is. We'll see it in the video there, but gonna go ahead and load a bunch of this stuff in here. This is supposed to lift a lot more weight than that 1025R, so I'm just gonna stack a bunch in here to begin with. I'm gonna put those 70 pounders in the bottom and then keep on going. Okay, so we have 11 times 42. Then we've got the 210 for the 370 pounders, plus 361. So we're at 1,033 pounds. I don't know, maybe I'm starting too high, but it's, you know, technically rated for more than that. Let's see what it does. Wow, that was a piece of cake. Which kind of sucks. I was hoping it was going to be near the max because I'm going to struggle to fit a bunch more in here, but let's see what we can do. Okay, so 16 of the 42 pounders on there now, plus the 70 pounders. I'm going to try to lift it slow so they don't go flying off because it's going to tilt a little bit. Man, that thing's still rocking. That's sweet. Okay, well, let me see if I can fit a few more on there. I got it slightly off the ground just because it shifts just a little bit from when it's touching the ground to that initial pivot point up. I really don't want to break any of these weights if I drop them. Almost lost it there. That hurt. These are 110-pound rated wheel weights. I think the actual weight when I weighed them in that last video in December, they were 102 pounds. So just so you guys know, I'm really afraid I'm gonna have to stop here pretty soon because I just can't. I don't want to break all this stuff. All right, guys, well, this is, I think, the last test I'm gonna do. I don't have any other place to put weight, and you know what? I'm in danger of something sliding off and whacking the machine or breaking on the ground. I don't want that to happen, so let's see what happens here. Well, guys, you know, maybe we're just not going to find the limitation of this 3-point hitch, but I'll tell you what, this is freaking impressive right here if you ask me. So anyway, take that for what you will, but we'll add this up and then I'll let you know how much it is. Whew. Holy smokes, guys. Well, I got to sit down. I'm a little worn out, but let's count all these suitcase weights. So the 42 pounders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 42 times 17, so that's 714. We got 3 70s plus 210, plus we've got 204 of the big weights, wheel weights there, plus 100 pounds for the small wheel weights, plus 361. So that's 1,589 pounds right there. Hopefully you can see that. 1,589, and it was still going, okay? I just, I ran out of room to stack anything else on there. So that is stinking impressive. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and load it up on the front end bucket here. We're gonna put in all the weights that I have, all the weights I can find around here. Might have to use the wheel weights as well. What I wanna try to do, I'm gonna try to keep the bucket level the whole way that I'm raising it up. I don't wanna rock the bucket back and forward and all that. Just looking to see how much it can raise with something in the bucket, you know, at a level dimension that we already took, you know, to max height for each one of these machines. Okay, so we've got 12 of the 42 pounders in there. So that's 504 plus 210 because we have 370 pounders in the bottom. So that's 714. Let's just start with that and see what it does. Okay, so epiphany, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, hey, it's maxed out at this height right here with all these weights in it, all right? But this isn't a bad height. This isn't something you might want to pick a load up, you know, and be able to dump it into, you know, your yard or in a pile or whatever else. So again, this is going to be the 12 42 pounders and then the 370 pounders there. What was it, 714 pounds, somewhere right around there. Let's see how high it lifts, and then we're going to put the same amount of weight into the KUBOTA, and we're going to see how high that lifts as well. So I tried to keep it as level as I could the whole way up. We're at 37 inches there, okay? So 37 inches, it lifted 714 pounds. I think that's what it was. When you curl it back, I mean, there's a lot more strength in curling it back like that versus just the lift height, the lift or the raising of the loader itself. So keep that in mind. You know, this isn't demonstrating every single dynamic configuration of the loader. It's just a couple of static points really in the end. Okay, well, I think that's our breaking point right there. I tried to get more in there, but yeah, 61 inches. I'm pretty sure that's what it was when it was empty, if I remember right. But 61 inches, you have the 3 70-pounders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 42s. Okay, so 42 times 6 plus 210. So that's 462 pounds to full height with the 1025R. Now, of course, I didn't think about it, but there was this heavy hitch tooth bar that was mounted on here. So these things are pretty sweet as well. 5% off with code GWT, heavyhitch.com. It's an Allen set screw along all those points. What is it, 7 points there? This thing, I don't know, weighs 60, 70 pounds, maybe something like that. It's very, very beefy, pretty awesome. Really enhances the versatility of your bucket. But heavyhitch.com, 5% off anything on their website, GWT. That's the code, GWT. Okay, so like we did with the John Deere, we're gonna put the 3 70-pounders, 12 42-pounders in there. We'll see how high it'll lift. That way you can see apples to apples, you know, same amount of weight, how high each one will lift that amount of weight. Yeah. .59 inches with the same amount of weight as that 1025R. Again, keep in mind, I didn't think about the fact that I had the tooth bar on the other one, so that is like 60 more pounds than I think what, you know, on top of 60, 70 pounds on top of what was in here. So just for comparison's sake. Okay, so now we're gonna see how much it can lift to max height. .69 inches, we're not quite there. I think we were 71 or 72 for empty. Okay, so I had one more weight on there, wouldn't quite do it. This is about 2 inches higher, so 71 1/4 inches, you know, which give or take with the angle of the bucket, it's probably not exact to what I measured it empty, but okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 42s. So we have 8 times 42 plus 210, so 546 pounds to full height. You know, probably a little bit more than that, but another 40 pounder is too much. Take a look at the physical height difference here between the tires, okay? That's going to be one of the big differences that I notice when you just visually look at them, right? So on the John Deere, you're going to have a 26-12-12 on the rears and an 18 by 8.5 on the front. So basically you have a 26-inch tall tire on the back and an 18-inch tall tire on the front. So over here on the Kubota, you are going to have a 12 by 16.5 on the rears and then a 23 by 8.5-12 on the fronts. What that translates to is a 33-inch tall on the back and a 23-inch tall on the front. Okay, so let's compare this really quick. 33-inch versus 26-inch on the back, 23-inch versus 18-inch on the front. Okay, so belly mowers are an available option on both these machines, which is one of the primary uses that most folks are going to have with them. So that's a really important topic there. You're going to have the same size available for both machines, okay? Either a 54-inch or a 60-inch. There is no 72-inch option. There is no 48-inch option, all right? So 54 or 60. Now on the Kubota, you're going to have a basic version here that is not drive over, not auto connect, not nothing, okay? So basically you would pull it out from the side. Now this one you're going to see some ramps right here, so you can pull those out and you can actually drive over this deck. It is an upgrade to my knowledge. It's not part of the base design. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the case. So, and I'm not sure if they have their own auto connect coupler. That's one thing I'm sorry I didn't do enough homework on before this video. On the Kubota BX series, they do have their auto connect version so that the PTO will connect instead of having to monkey around and try to get that manual PTO connection underneath the mid-mount mower there. I'm not sure if it's available on the B series. I know it's on the BX. I've done a video on it. Maybe I'll put a link up above where you can find it on my channel. Okay, so I didn't mention it, but that was a 60-inch version over there on the Kubota. What you're looking at here is a 54-inch version over on the John Deere. So there is, I know, a construction difference between the 54-inch and the 60-inch on the John Deere. I'm not positive if there is or not on the Kubota, but something to be aware of, that there may be a difference between the construction of the 54 and the 60. So what you're going to find standard on the John Deere is going to be the drive over ramp right here, and then you're going to have an auto connect option. It is going to be base version with the manual connect, but you can get an auto connect coupler here, so your PTO shaft connects as you drive on and off. Okay, so bear with me on this. I'm holding the camera now. It doesn't have the absolute best image stabilization, so I'm going to try to move very slowly, but I want you to have a nice look here at the layout of the machine. We're looking at the Kubota here first. You're going to see over here on this fender, you have your range select, a high, medium, low, and neutral. You also have that yellow handle right there we're staring at is going to be to turn the PTO on and off. And then this yellow handle in the back right there, that's going to be to control if you want the mid or the rear or both the mid and the rear PTO to operate. So if we're going down here and looking kind of at the floorboard, you're going to see there is a thin rubber pad there, which is nice to have over just a standard painted floorboard. You're going to have a split brake right there. That little knob or that little pedal right there, I should say, you push that down and then you can actually adjust. That's how you get your tilt steering there, okay? While we're right staring here, you're going to have some light switches. Let's see, flashers, turn signals, all that kind of stuff. You can see the dash right there. What do you have there? You've got your gauge cluster with the temperature, RPMs, and your fuel level over there as well, all right? So taking a look down here, have your parking brake and your cruise control. And this little lever right down there, that gray little bend, 90-degree bend, is going to be your locking rear differential. That knob or dial there, that's going to be your mower deck height adjustment. This one here, that's going to be your rated drop control, okay? Pay attention to that seat as well. It is a very nice suspension seat with armrests on there. Very comfortable for the amount of time that I've sat in it. Take a look down at that suspension as well. Scooting over to the other fender, you're going to see that 12-volt convenience outlet right there, a little bit of storage pocket or cubby right there, and then the orange handle, that's going to be how you select 2- or 4-wheel drive. The gray one behind it with the numbers 1 through 8, that is going to be your position control, which is very nice, something not found on the BX, and this is going to be a very nice feature in case you are looking to upgrade from a BX, at least in my opinion. You'll also see that cup holder right there, and then you do have a toolbox here. Somebody will have to chime in. I don't know if this is standard or if somebody added this on. I don't see a Kubota anywhere on there, so it could be something that was added on afterwards. I'm not really sure. Coming over to this side here, you're going to see your throttle control. That's how you control your RPMs, have your ignition. You're going to have your treadle pedal, okay? So you go reverse right there if you can see the arrow, and then forward with the other arrow up there. That little lever right there, oh, right there, that's going to be a loader lockout. Not used very often, but if you wanted to lock out the functionality of the loader joystick with that, you could. Now, something I didn't mention about both the John Deere and the Kubota, This is going to be an aftermarket third function kit here, where you can see the additional 2 hoses right here. They're plumbed all the way up front, so you can plug a grapple right in. You can have an outlet on the back just for general education. You can have an extra outlet on the back and just get some soft hoses made up and run them all the way to the front as well and run a grapple that way. But this one is already plumbed to the front. So now, to my knowledge, there is a factory kit you can get for a factory third function for both the Kubota and the John Deere. Just something to keep in mind. And you will see your fuel fill right up top there in the hood. Now, as far as lights go, you're going to have your 2 headlights up here on the Kubota, and you are going to have your flashers located on the ROPS there, and then some rear lights as well down here on the back side of the fenders. Might as well let you see just kind of what that rear axle looks like back in there as well, have you take a look at it too. Okay, moving over to the John Deere, here's a little look at it as well. So this is my own personal tractor. I've got a few things on here that wouldn't be on a stock tractor, but like that seat cover, for instance, there. But you do have a very nice seat on here as well. Good suspension, everything on there. You have the armrests. Can't complain at all about these seats, that's for sure. If we take a look up here, let's look at the dash up here. You're going to have tilt steering. The handle's on the other side. This is going to turn your PTO on and off, whether it's the rear or the mid. Ignition, of course. The orange handle, that's going to be your throttle control. Down below, this is going to be a cruise control handle and then also a parking brakes. If we go down here, you're going to see a little bit different layout in the pedals there. You're going to have a side-by-side configuration, forward and reverse. Take a look. You do also have that padded floorboard down there. Again, a very nice upgrade, I think, over just a plain basic plastic or painted floor. This is going to be your 2- or 4-wheel drive select lever right there. Loader joystick right here. Again, you can get, this is an electric third function kit right here. Okay, I sell electric grapples, so if you don't want to pay for the cost of getting a third function on there, you can get an electric grapple. It comes with the wiring harness, everything you need. Just hooks right up to the battery. Very cool. I got videos on that. So you see there's a bunch of storage here. You do have a toolbox. This is standard with the 1025R. Storage cubbies here, cup holder here, 12-volt convenience outlet, and you do have position control as well for your 3-point hitch. Loader lockout valve tucked right down there too. If we take a look over on this side, you're going to see your fuel fill right back here. Then you're going to have this lever right down here. This yellow handle, if you can see it there, is going to select your mid or your rear PTO, or both at the same time. You're going to have that high and low range right there, and then your fuel gauge is going to be right here, if you can see that. A mower deck height adjustment knob right there. This is going to be your locking rear differential pedal. And your rated drop control right here. And this is a seat adjust. I'm sure there was one over there in the Kubota. I must have just missed it. And then you do have a single brake here, no split brake on this one. Come up to the dash on this side, you're going to have light controls and turn signals and flasher controls. And a little look at the dash there, you have, oh, what do we have? The RPMs and the engine temperature as well. So the other one had the fuel gauge up there versus the fuel gauge here on the John Deere. And it's dirty back here, but we'll go ahead and let you kind of see the general construction of the John Deere 1025R in the back end as well. And this has also got a backhoe on it, so you're seeing some extra stuff on here, some frames and hoses and all that. That's not on a standard setup. As far as lights go, you got your headlights up front. You're going to see your lights mounted on the ROPS there. That's going to be your flashers, and then your running lights that are down there as well. And then you're also going to have, these are standard on here as well, these fender mounted work lights that are adjustable, one on either side. You can see the other one over there. Okay, now let's touch on backhoes here real quick. So this is a 260B backhoe for the John Deere 1025R. So if you had a, let's see, what is it, a 2017 or older, I believe it is, it would be a 260 backhoe. Okay, so they made some updates to it, integrated this thumb provision right here, so you can add on a thumb. Going to have its own seat, which is really probably the biggest difference, at least in my opinion, versus having, it used to have a swivel seat on the old style of 1025R, so now has its own seat on there. On the Kubota, you are going to have a swivel seat on there, so you will just turn around that main seat for the backhoe. However, let's go ahead and compare their 2-foot flat bottom digging depth, which is probably one of the biggest comparison points that you'd want to know about a backhoe. So you're going to have a 74-inch flat bottom, 2-foot wide digging depth on the 1025R backhoe, and you're going to have an 85-inch digging depth for that 2-foot flat bottom down there as well. So what is it, an 11-inch difference there, deeper that you can dig with the Kubota B2601 versus the 1025R. Man, I tell you, it is really hard to get a good view of the front ends here, but I'm hoping that you can kind of see the front end, the general construction, and kind of how the front end is put together here. Let you make your own opinions on that. This one right here did come in. You can see that boot cover there is torn as well. Just the difference in construction there, so you can kind of see. Well guys, that's a wrap. I am sweating to death. I am worn out. I am beat. It is late on a Friday night. I got to edit this, get it out by tomorrow morning. Sounds like a fun night to me, but this is supposed to be just a fact. So if I had any kind of an opinion, I do apologize. But make sure you stick around for the opinion version. I will give you my thoughts on both of these machines in the next video next week. Or if you're watching in the future, you can watch them back to back. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not? That's the big question, okay? So hit that subscribe button underneath the video, read through the description as well. All sorts of helpful links down there for links to Heavy Hitch, to my website, all over the place. Get discount codes, all sorts of good stuff. Check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time, stay safe. We'll see you soon.